Gentlemen, ladies, my name is Bob Lockett. I'm with Compliance Professionals. I'm standing in for Jim Exby today, and we're going to discuss a little fall protection. Yeah, that subject again. First off, we want to go back through the numbers, which I know that you all know. And then we want to talk about not so much the numbers, but the where's and why's and how-tors of fall protection, why it's necessary. So let's get to it for a minute. We've got this board taped to the wall up here. I hope it doesn't fall down. So, first thing we want to talk about is safety distance. Down here at the bottom, we've got a floor, we've got a distance to fall. Right now it's X feet. We've got to fall a safety distance. That safety distance generally is 2 feet, sometimes 3. For our purposes here, we're going to leave it 2 feet. Next, we've got the height of the employee to the D-ring. Okay, I'm going to put a little hard edge on this guy. Okay, and we got a dorsal D back here, and that's generally 5 feet. Okay, there we've got a shock absorbing lanyard, and it's around 3.5 to 4 feet. From there, we've got a lanyard that goes up, and it generally is around 6 feet. Oh, but wait a minute. Therein lies the problem. Tie off. Are we going to tie off over our head? Are we going to tie off equal with the dorsal D? Or are we going to tie off somewhere at our feet on the platform from where we're going to fall? Well, if it's up here, we all know we can subtract. If it's here, it's equal. If it's on the platform, we've got to add the lanyard distance to it, however far that is. So, in this case, we're going to be good kids. We're going to tie off 2 feet above. And we'll talk about the different tie-off points in a moment. 2 feet. So we've got a guy up here we've got a 1 foot distance of the D-ring slide, and he's 6 feet tall, so we've got 5 feet. So here we've got 2, 7, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19 feet. Now, we could use an SRL where we've got a 2 foot fall distance. We can use a number of different tie-off points. We'll get to some of those in a minute. But that's how we calculate the numbers. The one number that we haven't calculated is X. How far it is to a landing place. And that brings me, gentlemen and ladies, to the point of situational awareness. When someone falls and has an oopsie, and we all know what that oopsie is it because they don't have training? No. Is it because they don't have equipment? No, probably not. Is it because they don't have good management? Well, we all know that couldn't possibly be the case. It's because we weren't aware of how far it is to Mother Earth. Situational awareness. And unfortunately, situational awareness changes constantly. You're putting different equipment on and off. You're tying off to different places on and off. The distance between you and Mother Earth is going to change. Several years ago, we had a situation that occurred by which we had an individual, I don't have an eraser, but we were doing just fine. The gentleman had set himself up for about as I recall, a 16-foot fall, and we had an 18-foot drop. So we should have been great. The one thing that he didn't take into account is along down here were safety railings. And these were 3-inch pieces of angle iron. And they stuck up, how far? Come on, somebody out there can tell me. Come on, I can't hear you. Okay, I'll give it to you. Ah, there it was. It's 42 inches. He hadn't taken into account that 42 inches, situational awareness. And that individual fell. And he fell and hit the safety railing, which was a 3-inch piece of angle iron with no cap on it. I asked the OSHA area director a question. Let me get this straight. You're going to cite my client because one of his trained employees tripped on a safety harness and fell on a safety railing. If that safety railing wouldn't have been there, we wouldn't have had the accident. Well, OSHA ended up withdrawing that, and the employee wasn't terribly injured, although he was off some number of weeks, regaining use of his right arm and shoulder, or was it left arm and shoulder? Either one. He got hurt pretty badly. Was it because the lanyard didn't work? No, the lanyard worked exactly like it was supposed to. Was it because gravity didn't work? No, I assure you gravity works the same every time. It was because he didn't work. He wasn't aware of what was below him, or he didn't look, or he didn't consider. Gravity is a cruel mistress. Once the gravity fairy shows up, game over, boys, if you're not prepared. So those are the numbers. They don't change. 9.8 meters per second doesn't change. Those are the numbers. What changes is you. There's some options that you've got as far as tie-off. Beamers, chokers, lanyards, self-retracting lanyards, hard points, horizontal lifelines, lots of things. All of them are supposed to withstand 5,000 pounds. What happens if several of you tie off on the same point? Is it 5,000 pounds divided by 4 or 1,250 pounds each? No, it's 5,000 pounds each. So that hard point you're tying off to better be able to take, if there's 4 of you, better be able to take 20,000 pounds. Beamers, they work great. They're around, short distance, minimize a fall. Chokers, well, gee, you can put a long choker and get a lot of slack up there. Better be thinking about that. Lanyards, gee, the individual that fell, as I recall, had a 10-foot lanyard. Why didn't he have a 6-foot? Good question. There was one 10-foot lanyard in the box. Of all the lanyards he grabbed and put on, it was the 10-footer. If he'd have put on the 6-footer, would he have been injured? Probably. Would he have been injured seriously? Not as seriously as he was. He had a 10-foot lanyard on. Let's talk about self-retracting lanyards. Are they a good deal? Well, they only let you drop 2 feet instead of 6. Point is, there is no shock absorption in an SRL. So, if you're wanting to prove that you're a real man, put an SRL on and jump off a beam. We'll all think that you're really quite the guy. How much slack can be in a horizontal lifeline? Ooh, better think about that. You got to add that into the numbers. SRL versus lanyard, we talked about that again for a minute. Ooh, got to add that into the numbers. We talked about multiple people hooking up to the same point. You better consider that. So, now we're down to your personal fall arrest system, the PFAS. How often do you check it? OSHA says you check it every day. My question is, how often do you check it? I hope you're checking it every day, and I hope you're checking it to the checklist that you're given. Why? Well, believe it or not, we don't give you all that paperwork just to give you something to do. We don't give you all that paperwork just to go kill a tree. Frankly, we don't give you all that paperwork to fill out so the company's lawyers and insurance people have something to inspect after the fact. The reason that we give you all that paperwork is to make sure that you're checking it so I don't have to call your wife to tell you her or your mother something really bad has happened. That's why. It's for your benefit, not mine, not the company's, not your supervisor, not your lead man, not anybody, it's you. And, oh, well, maybe it's that lady that you live with and those little people that run around in the house. Maybe it's for them as well. So, daily inspections are required of your PPE, including your fall arrest system. Gentlemen, the day's coming, and it's not far off, that we're going to have daily inspections, and you're going to have to sign or initial that you did it. I know you hate that. I hate to even bring it up. Fact of the matter is, we're going to do it, and we're not doing it for any other reason Then again, those little people that you live with and that lady that you live with at home. So, again, my name is Bob Lockett. I've been able to spend a few minutes with you regarding fall protection. Remember, gentlemen, the numbers up there don't change. You know how to calculate them. The one number I don't want you to forget is 9.8 meters per second squared. The Gravity Fairy is a bitch kitty, and she will come and visit if you make one slight mistake. With that, I wish you guys a safe day. Thank you.